And across the board, we're very proud of our libraries that features almost 1,200 titles at this point. A lot of our first-time customers come to us and say, wow, I had no idea that there were that many games out there. Well, even though we're very proud of our collection, BoardGameGeek.com, which is a very popular board game collector's website, has around 70,000 titles in its database at this point. So I thought, let's take some time today and talk about some of the games that you can find here in our library. Now, we of course have the classics like chess and Chinese checkers that have been around for hundreds of years and obviously are good enough to withstand the test of time. I myself grew up in Germany in the late 70s, and of course I knew games like Monopoly. Even then, it was a relatively old game. Monopoly, in fact, was created in 1903, so at this point it is more than 100 years old. And of course, we had games like Clue or Risk, North American games that again were very popular in Europe as well. But people thought, why do we limit our experience to games that are that old? Now, a lot of us probably also have relatively bad memories about playing games like Monopoly or Risk because those games are based on elimination, meaning that if you get kicked out, you can sit on the couch and mope for 2 or 3 hours while your friends finish the game by themselves. Not the greatest experience. So, a lot of designers in Germany or other Central European countries decided to create new games which are now called Euro games. Games like Labyrinth came on the market, or games like Scotland Yard, which, by the way, for those of you that care, is the first published cooperative game. Now, so many games were created in those years that Germany decided to hand out an award called Spiel des Jahres, technically translated Game of the Year. The biggest success in recent history is in 1995 when a game called The Settlers of Catan hit the market, now called Catan. Settlers of Catan is the perfect example of a Euro game. Everybody is involved in the game. When somebody rolls a die, whatever the die roll is, has an impact of everyone's game. You might get some resources or you might lose some things. Plus, after that, you get to trade with each other for these resources. In other words, every player is part of the gaming process until the game comes to an end if somebody wins 10 points. Now, not every game has to be about strategy or point collecting or road building. Now, the latest winner of the Spiel des Jahres of 2016 is a game called Codenames. Codenames is technically a party game. In other words, you can play it with 4 people and more, but it incorporates a bit of a strategy and a bit of a very interesting puzzle mechanic. So, doesn't matter if you like the traditional games or the vintage games, the classics, or any of the brand new ones. We would love to show you some titles that we have here across the board. So come on down and check out all the fun that we have in store for you.